May 2010, Miami, Florida. A man sits at a table covered in legal papers. He is not a criminal. He is not a nobody. He is Antoine Walker, three-time NBA All-Star, world champion, the man who made $108 million playing basketball. He is here today to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Every single dollar of that fortune is gone. He owes $13 million he does not have. Somewhere in a storage unit, his NBA championship ring, the one he earned with the Miami Heat in 2006, is waiting to be sold by a court-appointed trustee. It will eventually sell for $21,500. One ring, one championship, the greatest moment of his career, gone for $21,000. The shimmy is over. This is the Broke Files. Today, we look at how one of the most gifted athletes in NBA history turned $108 million into nothing, and what his mind had to do with every single decision that got him there. Before the fall, Antoine Walker was the last person anyone expected to end up broke. He grew up in Chicago with nothing. As a kid, he had to ask his mother for money just to buy food. He knew what it felt like to have empty pockets. In 1996, the Boston Celtics drafted him 6th overall. He signed his first contract. He was 20 years old and suddenly rich. He told himself he would never feel poor again. That promise to himself would cost him everything. The rise was immediate and loud. His first paycheck was $1.6 million. He did what almost every young player from a poor background does. He took care of his people. He bought his mother a house for $500,000. He bought his brothers and sisters cars, not regular cars, Mercedes and luxury vehicles. He never said no to anyone who asked him for help, not once. Family members, close friends, people from the neighborhood. He was supporting around 10 people comfortably every single month for over a decade. He had 10 cars for himself. He would spend an extra $25,000 on each one just for custom rims and sound systems. He wore designer clothes. He wore expensive jewelry. He was the financial backbone of everyone around him. He thought the money would never stop. Every time he stepped on the court, another check was waiting. Why would it ever end? The first cracks appeared off the court. Antoine Walker started a real estate company called Walker Ventures. He wasn't there day to day to run it. He trusted other people to handle the details. He personally signed off on loans for deals he didn't fully understand. He put his name and his entire fortune behind those deals. On top of that, he had a gambling habit. He lost millions at casino tables, chasing the same rush he felt making big shots. But the casino doesn't care about your jump shot. The warnings were there. He ignored every one of them. Then, in 2008, the real estate market collapsed, and it took Antoine Walker with it. Because he had personally signed those loans, he wasn't just losing his business, he was losing everything attached to his name. The $108 million was gone. He had stopped playing in the NBA that same year. No more game checks, no more contracts, just debt. 13 million of it. 2 years after retiring from the sport that made him famous, Antoine Walker was living with his mother, the same woman he had bought a $500,000 house for. He was back at the beginning, except this time, he owed $13 million he didn't have. The emotional center of Antoine's story is not the bankruptcy filing. It is the moment he had to sit down with his mother and tell her the truth, that the house might have to go, that the cars were gone, that the man who promised her she would never struggle again had run out of money. He had spent a decade being the financial backbone of everyone he loved. Now he had to look the person he loved most in the world in the eye and say he had failed. That moment, not the courtroom, not the ring, was the real rock bottom. To understand why Antoine Walker lost everything, you have to understand two mental traps that destroy wealthy people faster than anything else. The first is called the Superman syndrome. This is when someone is so good at one thing that they start to believe they are good at everything. Antoine was one of the best basketball players in the world, so when people came to him with real estate deals and investment ideas, he didn't think he needed an expert. He trusted his own gut the same way he trusted it on the court. But the court is his world. The business world had different rules, and people who knew how to take advantage advantage of someone who didn't know them. The second trap is financial peer pressure. In an NBA locker room, everyone can see what you drive, what you wear, and where you live. If your teammate pulls up in a Ferrari, you feel the pressure to pull up in something better. Antoine never said no to the people around him. Every person he helped expected him to keep living like a superstar. He was spending to protect his image, not his future. And image is the most expensive thing a person can own. Antoine Walker did not let the story end in that courtroom. He chose to face it publicly. He made a documentary called Gone in an Instant to show the real numbers, what $108 million actually looks like going out the door every month. He began mentoring young NBA players. He sat with rookies and showed him his actual financial statements. He told them the truth nobody had told him, that the checks stop, that the people around you disappear when the money does, that saying no to the people you love is not being selfish, it is survival. He had to kill his own ego to save his future, and that is the hardest thing any person can do. The lesson from Antoine Walker's story belongs to all of us, not just athletes. We all feel the pressure to look successful instead of quietly becoming successful. We all believe somewhere deep down that the good times will never stop. We all have people in our lives whose opinion of us costs us more than we can afford. Antoine Walker made $108 million. He lost it all in 2 years because of what he believed about himself and what he owed the people around him. He made a documentary so the next generation would not have to learn the lesson the hard way, because the truth is simple. It is not how much you make, it is whether you become the kind of person who knows how to keep it. Wealth is not a number in your account. It is a decision you make every single day.